Welcome to the Drastic Results with Toni Harris Taylor show.
To go to another level, you must try to learn and hear something new. So make a change today. So don't procrastinate and see your business grow and change. So check out Drastic Results, yeah, with Toni Harris Taylor. Toni Harris Taylor. Drastic Results, oh yeah, with Toni Harris Taylor. Yeah.
Welcome to the Drastic Results with Toni Harris Taylor show. Today I have a very, very, very special guest. Actually, I have two guests. I have Karen Carter Richards. I affectionately call her my sister, and I have her daughter, Chelsea White. They're with the Houston Forward Times, the longest running Black newspaper in the Houston area. For over 60 years, they've never missed a week of print. I want to let you know that Karen has overcome what some people would say insurmountable obstacles. She's been able to keep her paper running through ups and downs, peaks and valleys. And while it has not been easy, she has came out and she is shining better than gold. Now I'm going to tell you how I met Karen. 31 years ago, someone asked me to go over to the paper and do some technology work for them. I could not do the work because I was busy, and so I sent my mom. Her name is Joyce, by the way. She's like, I have a name. Her name is Joyce. I sent Joyce, and Joyce is our technologist. Joyce has been with Forward Times for 30 years. You never know where relationships and connections will take you. That's why you can't take any of them for granted. We know the saying, don't burn bridges. There's a reason for that. I'm so eternally grateful to Karen and the Forward Times family for embracing my mother to this day. They give her something to do and keep her from eating bonbons on the couch in retirement. And they keep her sharp. And they couldn't live without her. I'm so grateful to the Forward Times family. But how does a Black business stay in business 60 years? That's crazy. And then you'll hear Karen's story. She didn't want to do it. I remember the time she's like, I can't be my mom. And she resisted. Now she runs a national organization. You just never know where life's gonna take you. When we come back, you'll meet my sister friend, Karen Carter Richards and Chelsea White. We'll be right back.
Have you ever thought about the true definition of success? Well, fortunately, there's no wrong answer. We all have our own ideas of what true success actually means. So don't let yourself get caught up in trying to live someone else's success story. I'm Mike Bush with JLA Realty, and I want to take just a moment to let you know what our idea of success actually means. It's helping to create successful, passionate, and driven agents, which give us satisfied clients. So if you're ready for us to help you write your own success story, go to joinjla.com and let's get to work.
If you are a business owner who needs more revenue but doesn't have the time or team to conduct sales activities, you need Unstoppable Sales Support. I'm Tish Time, CEO and founder of Unstoppable Sales Support. For over 10 years, I've helped teams to close more sales. Unstoppable Sales Support is your outsourced sales solution. Prospecting, follow-up, and we close sales. Done for you.
Welcome back. I'm excited for our next guest. We have two guests this time at the same time. We have Karen Carter Richards, who's like a sister to me, and then we have her niece daughter, Chelsea White. She's more the daughter than the niece, Chelsea White. And Chelsea is so beautiful. She's an actress and singer and entertainer. So we'll hear from her and her story as well. But actually, they're here together because it's about generations.
Oh, absolutely.
And passing that family business down. So first of all, I met Karen. I'm going to slow down to tell this story. Because the key here is you never know where introductions and connections are going to lead. So I met Karen in, I got to say, 91. It was before I moved to Florida. So maybe even my baby was 1 year old. So 89. In 89, someone called me and says, you need to get in touch with Karen Carter because they need some technology support at the newspaper. She owns Forward Times newspaper, a 60-year historical newspaper here in the Houston area. Black audience, black owned, black run, black everything. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Because there's the story there too. So they said, technology is kind of my thing, but at the time I couldn't go. So I said, Mom, who's my technologist, can y'all believe our mother, right? Because she's like a sister. She is a technologist.
Yes.
She's the one we call when computers are not acting right. And somehow when she walks in the room, the computer just acts right.
Absolutely.
Right. She's a guru. I told her.
I call her the doctor.
The doctor.
She's
Literally.
the doctor.
So anyway, I sent my mother, because I couldn't go, this was 31 years ago, and my mother is still working there today.
Yes, and I can't move without her.
No. We love her.
Yes. So I love you all for giving my mom something to do, because otherwise, what else would she be doing?
Right.
Sitting on the couch watching TV eating bonbons.
I told her she can't retire.
She
I said, I'm going to
cannot.
push you in here.
She's so serious too.
I'm so serious.
I know you are. So tell us about Forward Times.
Forward Times is my baby. My father was a founder. The paper was founded in January of 1960. I'll speed it up. I won't go through a lot of stuff, but my father ran the paper up until his death in 1971, doing civil rights. A lot was going on. Forward Times is known for heavy, hard-hitting articles that talks about things in our community that most people wouldn't touch. And my father was, at the time, blasting, it was civil rights. What did I say? Blasting the police department, blasting different things going on in our community. Our building was bombed because of an article we wrote about the police department. Unfortunately, my father died 4 days later, not from injuries of that, but just all the pressure and the stress. My mother then took over the paper. She was a 29-year-old black woman with 2 little girls. And, it was predicted that she couldn't run the paper. She was working there, but they was like, that was too much for her because that industry was a male-dominated industry.
Absolutely.
And so they basically said she couldn't do it. They gave her 6 months. They said she'll be out of business in 6 months. After she made that, they said she'd be out of business in a year. And well, we're so glad they were wrong. So anyway, I started working at the paper. Well, we always had to work at the paper. I looked at one of your questions and said, what did you say? Ask me. You said, when did you? I forgot what it was. When did I decide to work? Like I said,
You didn't have a
I
choice.
had a choice. No, we didn't have a choice. I
Same.
had a right.
Same.
I had a newspaper out in the neighborhood at 7 years old. So when your question said, how long have you been an entrepreneur? I was like 7. So it wasn't a choice. As long as I can remember, even before that, when the distributors would pull up in front of the building to get their papers, it was this little cart they would put the papers on and wheel out, and I can remember being much younger and sitting on that cart and wheeling me back in. But
Wow.
But I'm saying we had to work. My mother always said you need to learn everything from the front door to the back.
Okay.
And
So how did it go from your mom to you?
Unfortunately, my mom passed in April 2010. She passed from a massive heart attack. was with me the night before, no problems. I went to the house the next morning and found her. And so it messed me up.
Yeah, yeah, I was
'Cause we
there.
thought- yeah.
I was there, and I remember.
I thought it would be, it was rough. I didn't
Yeah.
even want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
My mother and I've shadowed my mother for over 35 years.
Yeah.
And was glad to be in that second
Yeah.
position. She didn't want to do what I was doing, the land and
Right,
and she did all that. So it was devastating.
And I
Yeah.
remember the night, I think it was the night that Mama passed, and she was in a fetal position saying, I don't want to be her. I don't
That's what
want
I
to
was
be
saying.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't want to. I didn't want to do that.
And
Well,
then you
when
fast
we
forward to
come
now.
back, we're going to take a break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about that story because this is all about inspiring people. When you don't want to do it,
Yes.
Absolutely.
how do you keep going anyway? So we'll be right back and we'll talk about obstacles and how to overcome those.
All right.
Drastic Results, yeah, with Toni Harris Taylor.
Creating social media posts for your business can take so much time and energy. And yet with the pandemic, if you're not online posting, people think you're closed. Introducing Amy Social. Amy Social is the world's first AI app for small business that writes, designs, creates, and schedules every post for your entire month's social media calendar in seconds. Download it to your phone for free at getsocial.ai. That's getsocial.ai.
As a small business owner, you know how difficult it is to handle legal issues on your own. And at hundreds of dollars an hour, hiring a law firm is oftentimes not an option. Legalshield small business legal plans help you resolve business legal matters more efficiently and affordably. For a small monthly fee, you will have direct access to a dedicated provider law firm. Whether you have 2 employees or 200, or run your business from your home, we provide customizable coverage options to meet the unique needs of your business. You will receive legal advice and research on business legal matters, phone consultations, document and contract review, as well as collection letter assistance. We also provide options for IRS audit protection and interstate services for out-of-state matters. Legalshield has small business plans available in 3 packages: Essentials, Plus, or Pro, as well as supplemental plan options. Plans start at just $49 a month. Receive the right level of legal assistance, tailored to the unique needs of your business so that you can focus on what you do best: running your business.
Drastic Results, yeah, with Toni Harris Taylor.
We're back. Before we went to break, Karen was telling the story of how her mom passed and she had to take over the business. And I was there and I watched the whole thing unfold. And you didn't want to be your mom because your mom was powerful, amazing. People really admired and inspired to be her. And I know that was a hard step for you. So what did you do to overcome that obstacle? What drastic steps did you have to take?
It was hard because like you said, I was the number 2 man, but I was in my little cubby hole I was the creator. I liked the look and I didn't want to be out there. I didn't want to be in the limelight. That was what Mom did. She didn't want to do what I did. I didn't want to do what she did. So it was hard. It was like, I remember the morning that she died on a Saturday, and that Monday morning, they called me and said, Karen, the media is all here. It was cameras everywhere. And I called my mom's godson, Gerald Womack, and I said, Gerald, you got to go handle it. I don't do that. And I snuck in the back door and went in there and started getting the paper out, because one thing that my mother and my father would tell my mom, and then because I was 9 when my father died, but my mother always said that my father said, if I die on a Monday, bury me on Tuesday and get the paper out. So if I've heard that all my life, you don't miss an issue. We've been in business 60 years, printing every week, never missed a week of print. So
That's huge.
So the fact that, that I lost my mom, and my focus was I got to get the paper out. I started getting them situated at work, went back out the door, the media's there, made funeral arrangements and came back. And it wasn't easy, but I will say my mother prepared me. I was learning when I didn't even realize I was learning. And people, saying that how, I've done well and done things, but I should. I had the best teacher in the world.
Absolutely.
And so I don't take a lot of credit for that. I mean, I would be pretty sorry if I didn't do the things she had to do. But I tell you, in the craziest moments, stressful moments, whether it's something real good or whether it's something real bad, I go back to when I went to visit with my mom's attorneys like 3 weeks after she died. They said to me, and this always lifts me, whatever's going on, bad or good, that he said, your mother had every confidence in the world you could do this. And so whatever situation I'm in, I go back to that because she was I used to call her a drill sergeant.
Yeah, she was intimidating to a lot of people. But she was amazing.
Yeah.
But then you and I, around the same time, had a major health challenge. How did you overcome that obstacle?
Wow. Well, wow. I haven't spoke about that much. You know, some people, everybody's different. Some people put their stuff out there. I'm old, so I've come from the school of you don't talk about, certain things or whatever. But it wasn't that, but I just felt like God would tell me when the time was to talk about my situation. Long story short, I ended up having to have open heart surgery.
Oh, Lord. I remember.
I took a fall in the airport, January of 2018. And I fell when I hit the ground. I hit the ground so hard that I literally felt my organs jolt. And I remember saying, whoa, I didn't know your organs move like that. It could move like that. Fast forward a couple of months, I was at my office, felt this little sketching in my right side of my back. I was like, what was that? It lasted about 10 seconds. 4 days later, I was Easter Sunday morning. I woke up 3 o'clock in the morning. Told my son, something's wrong, take me to the hospital. And he's like, I say, take me to the hospital. They know I don't play with that. And I got there and I don't really remember much after that, but I had to end up having an aneurysm in my aorta.
Oh, wow.
And my aorta had started to dissect.
Wow.
And so I had to have open heart surgery. I was in a 2-day surgery pretty much. And God is good. That's all I can say.
You and I are the comeback kids.
And the one thing that she doesn't remember, the crazy thing is like, she has no memory after being at the hospital and them telling her what was going to happen. And I came in, and keep in mind, the day before, we're talking, she was at Phil and Derek's, so she was normal.
Right.
And so I get there, and they're like, we're going to have, do an emergency aortic dissection on your mom. I'm like, what? And even as she's delirious, she looked me in the eye and was giving me directives. She was telling me.
The paper had to go out.
Yeah, the paper had to go out. So overnight, I had to step into her shoes. And those are some the same way you feel about mama, I feel about you. Those are some mighty shoes to fill, and I really feel that she doesn't give herself enough credit because she has taken this and made it her own. Yeah, honestly,
she has done. You've done a beautiful job keeping that alive. Now, I want to mention this before we go to break. Now, remember, she didn't want to do it. Now she's the chairman of the board of the National
Newspaper Publishers Association, the Black Press of America, all the black papers in the country.
All the black papers in the country, she running the thing.
The whole thing.
How do you go from I don't want to do it to running the whole thing? And you are so respected in the industry.
Thank you.
And I'm so proud of you. So now on our next segment, we're going to talk about that third generation. And I want to introduce you to Miss Chelsea White, who is poised to keep the thing going. The 100-year anniversary. We're going to be there with our walkers, but we go for a 100-year anniversary.
I'm going to be here.
Yes.
We'll be right back.
Drastic Results, with Toni Harris Taylor. Toni Harris Taylor. Drastic.
Did you know that 76% of warm referrals actually close? Are you getting all the referrals that you want? My name is Toni Harris Taylor, and I am the community builder with Network in Action Northeast Houston. I bring business owners together to help them to build relationships to bring each other more leads. If you're interested in getting more leads for your business, contact me at nianortheasthouston.com.
Are you looking to own a business? Why not own a financial consulting business? Start your new financial planning business with a reputable company established since 1969. We support your success with business coaching, a proven money-making system, and an established ready-made audience that will need your help. Contact Marlon Johnson. Call 248-910-2670.
Drastic Results, yeah, with Toni Harris Taylor.
Welcome back. So in our previous episode or our segment, we were talking about overcoming obstacles, and Karen told her story of how she moved forward after her mom's death reluctantly, and she's doing an amazing job. But now we're going to talk to Chelsea, because Chelsea is third generation, and she's poised, and she has her own ambitions, and I respect that as well, but she knows she has a legacy to carry on.
Absolutely.
So we want to talk to you as a young adult about how do you feel about taking on the responsibility of the paper?
I'm gonna be honest with you, it feels natural. It feels very natural for me. It's always us, you know, the same way that she was with Mama. I do have other things going on, but this is always home. This is a business that's taken care of us our entire lives, provided a good life for us. So no matter where I go, and she and I talk about this, I'll always be back. I'll always be at the helm of the paper, because it literally raised me, you know? So it feels natural.
Absolutely. Wonderful. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that.
Right. Because we was wondering for a minute,
Yeah.
was that going to be the case? But I'm glad to hear that. So millennials,
Yes.
not reading newspapers these days. What are y'all doing to reach the millennial, and will the printed paper ever go out?
So I know for me, this is how I feel.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of people say that print news and newspapers are obsolete. I don't feel that way, especially because I'm a lover of all things vintage. I love to put my hands on a newspaper and feel the pages and turn the page and read, you know, the ink on the paper. And so I feel like we should always stick to having, you know, actual tangible newspapers. But of course, you know, we have digitized, we've done that. And the crazy thing is, because of COVID, I think at the beginning of the pandemic, we were really scared, because we were like, oh my God, what's about to happen? You know, advertising clients were canceling ads left and right. And then it ended up, you know, I hate to say it like this, but it was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, sure it was.
Because it forced us to put our heads together, to reinvent. And now we are stronger than ever when it comes to the digital side. Like, we hired on new staff, new writers, new content creators. Our social media presence is booming. There's
got
so
an app
many.
too, right?
Yeah, we got an app. We got an app. Yes, we got an app. We have other millennials and Gen Z young creators coming in and just breathing new life, fresh energy into this, and making sure that it is still as relevant as it was in the 60s, you know, if not more. And so I'm excited. I feel like we're moving forward, you know, forward times. We got to stick to our name. Yeah.
I love it. Wonderful. I am so excited, and I want to contribute so how can I help? Y'all
you
know
I'm gonna be calling. But like she said, it was a blessing in disguise, because we had started to do some things, but COVID definitely put us on the fast track. And I'm glad to see the young people coming in, because they, like she said, they breathe new life. I always say, what it takes me hours to do, they can do it in about 15 minutes. So I welcome them. I love the what my daughter brings, because my mother was print. She didn't want to do a lot of change, and your mother and she would let us just do a little bit on the computer. So to have my daughter, because my mother would push some things like, oh, we don't need to do that, because they were scared of the change. I welcome the change, because it takes a lot of pressure off, and they teach me. So so we bring in a lot of young people, and I'm so glad.
My mama called me yesterday. Who in your network can do this technology? I love that.
Yes.
Thank y'all. So I tell everybody how they can contact you on social media, all these apps. Tell them what they need to know, Chelsea.
So first of all, you can visit www.forwardtimes.com, and then across all the social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, it's just Forward Times, @Forward Times. So connect with us on there. engage with us on there. Yeah, we're everywhere.
Wonderful. Congratulations. Thank you. I want to end the segment with a heartfelt thank you.
Oh, don't you make me.
Oh. So there was a time that I didn't know what was going to happen with my mom. She had lost her job at BP. And I called Karen and I said, Karen, I can't afford to take care of my mama. I cannot pay her bills and my bills too. And you said, Toni, I got you. Your mama will always have a place to work. And that means everything to me. Because you're not only giving her a place to work, you're giving her something to do to keep her mind active. And I appreciate you so much, Karen.
But I need her just as much as she needed me at the time, and I don't make a move without her.
Yeah.
Let me lighten it so we can stop crying. Yesterday she said, Karen, we really need to change the QuickBooks stuff. It's changing. I said, okay, go on while we still in our right mind. I said, go on and figure it out.
And that happened to be one of the things she called me about. Who you know does QuickBooks?
I said, go on and figure it out and then tell me what we gonna do. But man, I don't make a move without her. You know, y'all used to travel a lot.
Right,
She would say, but you can still reach me. We're going on a cruise. You can still reach me. And I'd say, so when she would leave, and she probably wouldn't even get home yet, I'd dial. I said, hello. She said, what's the matter? I said, I'm just checking. Making sure I can get you.
I remember recently Kelly said, when you going to retire, Miss Joyce? You said, mind your business.
No, she said, oh, you know, Joyce is getting older. She might not want to. I said, be quiet. Don't say that again. Right. Joyce ain't going nowhere.
Well, I want to say I love you. Thank you.
I love you too.
I'm so proud of you for keeping going. This connection is amazing. It's just going to go up from here. Chelsea, you're amazing. You're going to make it. It's going to be awesome, and we're here to support.
Thank you.
All right, we will be right back. Let me get myself together. Right. We'll be right back with final thoughts.
Drastic Results, yeah, with Toni Harris Taylor. Drastic Results, yeah, with Toni Harris Taylor.
Welcome back. So wasn't that an amazing show? Karen Carter Richards and Chelsea White really touched me. Y'all, I'm rarely moved to tears, period. But they really touched me. I know Karen's journey, and she has made me so proud as her sister. And then Chelsea taking over and moving into the third generation. That's amazing for a Black-owned business, any business, but especially for a Black-owned business. The legacy of the Carters lives on. I want to encourage you to check out Forward Times, subscribe to all of their social media, get a old-fashioned newspaper. So go ahead and enroll and get a subscription. And if you are a potential sponsor and advertiser, please reach out to Forward Times. They do excellent work, and they deserve your business. I want to remind you, sharing is caring, so share this video with your network. I want to also encourage you to go to Drastic Results with ToniHarrisTaylor.com. There you can like me on Facebook. You can join my Facebook community, the Six Figure Network, and you can subscribe. Yes, hit the subscribe button to YouTube. And then last but not least, support our sponsors. They're small business too, and they need your support. I would love to see you support them, and they will support you right back. This is Toni Harris Taylor saying, take a drastic step today for a fantastic tomorrow. See you next time.